Ah, I love that smell. You know what that smell is? It's the smell of a democratic republic. I mean a democracy.
13, got my first strike. Glenwood Road, where they shiest, nigga.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'm about to participate in America's favorite pastime, midterm elections. You know, every morning I wake up, I exfoliate, I lather my whole body in essential oils, and I brush my teeth, and I look myself in the mirror and I say, you're a winner. And you can make a difference. And after many years of lying to myself, today it is finally true. I'm about to go in there and I'm about to vote for elected officials that nobody knows about. God damn it, I'm gonna have a good time. I got this here voter registration card, and I say I'm all ready to vote.
It's a lot of gang, so I keep a knife, nigga. We was broke, so all we ate was rice, nigga.
All right, so your boy just left the polls, and I voted my conscience. I didn't vote like a straight party ticket. Who the does that? Because not all Democrats are like for the people and cool and hip, and not all Republicans are old and white and big business, protected companies. The voting is cool and it's easy to understand, but the part that I want to talk to you about is when you have to vote on amendments and when they ask you questions, and if you favor questions. Because in South Carolina this year, we had to vote on an amendment and we had to vote on a question. And I want to read them to you to show you how these questions are worded and how they're worded to confuse the absolute shit out of you. And it's just like, honestly, I understood it, but it's just like, if you don't have like critical reading skills, like you won't understand any of this shit. All right, so they gave me one on a pamphlet because I asked for it. I'm gonna read this amendment to you, and I want you to comment or text me or anything if you understand this shit. All right, so here's the amendment. I'm gonna read it. Must Article 7. Article 6 of the Constitution of this state relating to state constitutional officers be amended so as to provide that beginning in January 2023 or upon a vacancy in the office of Superintendent of Education after this date of the ratification of the after the date of the ratification of the provisions of this paragraph, whichever occurs first, the superintendent of education must be appointed by the governor with the advice and consent of the Senate to provide that the appointed superintendent of education shall serve at the pleasure of the governor and to require the General Assembly to provide by law for the duties, compensation, and qualifications for the office. You can vote yes. A yes vote will require the superintendent of education to be appointed by the governor with the consent of the Senate. You can vote no, which maintains the current method of electing a superintendent of education. Now, if you don't know how the superintendent gets his office, then you don't even know what voting no means. And if you vote yes, you gotta understand that this paragraph is saying that when the governor gets into office, he can appoint any one of his boys to be the superintendent of education, and they shall serve at the pleasure of the governor. That sounds weird. What is he doing? Why is he serving at the pleasure of the governor? I don't like it. Now I'm gonna read you the question. I took a picture of it on my phone. I'm gonna read this for you. And like I said, I didn't understand this the first time I read it. Like, first time I read it, I thought it was something completely different. But I had to read it like 2-3 times, and I was like, oh, I get what this is about. All right, here we go. Do you favor the imposition of development impact fees on new residential and non-residential development in the county after the required study is conducted pursuant to state statute in order to offset the cost the impact such new development has on public infrastructure and facilities, and shifting some of the burden of funding necessary improvements from existing taxpayers to the new development creating the demand? Do you understand that? You ain't gotta lie. I ain't gonna judge you, because I didn't. And I had to read it again. And after I read it 2 more times, I was like, oh, okay. They want to charge basically anybody building stuff in Myrtle Beach. They want to charge them in order to offset the costs that they have on public infrastructure and facilities. Basically, anything that's being built will have a fee attached to it. And once that fee is supposed to offset the cost impact such new developments has on public infrastructure and facilities. So basically, I'm guessing they're charging them for their impact on the financial ecosystem of Myrtle Beach, which makes sense. I can get behind that. And it also shifts some of the burden of funding necessary improvements from existing taxpayers to the new development creating the demand. Now, what that means is instead of you having to pay taxes for like road improvements that get to these new developments, the people creating those developments are charged for that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do y'all understand that? Does that even, like the way they worded that, does that even make sense? But yeah, that's voting. And honestly, I don't work up an appetite. All this goddamn political process. So it's only one thing to do.
It's vote time. How can I serve you today?
Yeah, let me get a,
Y'all must thought that I was gone with spread the whole time. 21. I ran out of weed, I sent your bitch out of town. Oh God. Gave her 1,500 and she came back with pounds. Straight up. Rappers think they it, but they really just clowns. Oh God. Gucci stole 100,000, that's just in a day.